First, Immortal Wonder Woman. She's so immortal, she is literally, at the end of the universe, the only, well, one of two people left. So, continuing on from the previous issue, Darkseid is like, hey, I'm winning. Darkseid is, until Superman's like, nah, yeet us to lead us into the sun with you. Yeah, so Superman, with the last of his strength, flies himself and Darkseid into the sun, which obviously you don't want to do because, well, it's a last-ditch effort. It works, but it destroys the sun and pretty much the planet.
How does Superman die from the sun exploding? Hang on.
That's true. He gets powered by the sun. How does the sun? Maybe just the explosion.
There's an entire plot point in, like, I think DC 1,000,000 where he flies into the sun and becomes like a golden man.
That DC's like, shh, that doesn't matter. Shh, shut up.
I'm wondering if, like, the logic there is like the sun was dying.
Maybe. In this one, the sun isn't dying. It's still very much alive. I would say maybe the overall explosion of throwing a fucking, essentially a god into it.
I guess also in New Gods, which is like a fundamental universe thing, so...
Yep, that is true, yep. So, Superman commits game end with Darkseid. Immortal Wonder Woman, she's the only one left until she finds Brainiac's ship and discovers not Brainiac, but the Spectre. The Spectre is just chilling in Brainiac's ship. For some reason. You were saying?
So he's just chilling in dead space.
Essentially, yeah, pretty much. And he's like, well, I have nothing to do because I'm the spirit of... He's like, I'm the spirit of vengeance. What do? I have nothing to... I have no vengeance left. And Wonder Woman's like...
He becomes a ghost.
He becomes a super ghost and disappears. He becomes a ghost and he moves on.
She game ends Spectre.
Yeah, she tells him, you can go to sleep now. And he's like, alright, I'ma head out. And leaves.
Just like in, remember was it Infinite Crisis where Wonder Woman snaps Max Lord's neck?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wonder Woman just killing every hero.
She taught Yara Flor the art of neck snapping, and then continued to do it up until her final days.
Hey, she's committed to the bit. I'll give her that.
No, yeah,
yeah.
Good on her. I mean, she's got the gimmick now, thanks to 52. She best use it.
Yeah.
Girl power. Yeah.
I mean, why not? Yeah. And then we reminded that there was an actual other antagonist in this book, the Undoing, which is undoing the entire universe, and it finally, in very hentai fashion, wraps around Wonder Woman, tries to consume her, and then I don't know. This is where I kind of got slightly confused. Like she, I don't know, realizes she has some other power within her, hope or something like that, and she just...
Isn't this just the third act of the first movie?
Pretty much, yeah. I realized she has some power. Fights fucking Professor Lupin in God armor.
and then she becomes a constellation in the sky.
Yeah, she unleashes this power to pretty much kill the Undoing, and yeah, she becomes a constellation in the sky. Despite the fact that everything is gone, she's like, well, we now have hope of a future. I'm just like, well, everything's dead. So unless your new power restarted the universe is fucked.
I think that was the implication, that like she jump-started life and back into the universe.
I think so, yeah, with like some of the panels like showing like these weird like things. I think that is the implication. She somehow restarted the universe again.
It's sort of like I wanted to sing Paul McCartney's "Hope for the Future" from Destiny, but I don't know.
I don't know. That's Destiny. We don't talk about that.
Not unless it's Thursday.
Yes, and overall, it's just the first Destiny. No.
Sure.
But
I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain.
yes,
That's
exactly.
this book.
Yes, pretty much. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Welcome to the stream. So overall, with Immortal Wonder Woman, we were talking about this before. Jen Bartel carries this book with her art.
Yeah.
The art is great in this, especially those last few pages when Wonder Woman unleashes universe restarting powers. They look amazing. Like, I have a cut-out panel of it on the stream. It looks great, but the story is so-so. It's average. I mean...
It is the most story I've ever read.
Yeah, so I would give it C+, because it's just so eh.
And the backup was Nubia. At least they didn't have like a panel. At least they didn't have like the panel from the word bubbles from the previous panel on.
Oh yeah, they realized their mistake there and made sure not to do it again. Jacob says
Wow,
he liked the first issue.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you did your fucking job. It's not our job to fix your work or to point out your work. You should not make those mistakes in the first place. Yeah, Jacob says he liked the first issue. Yeah, I think most of us agreed that we liked the first issue. It's just the story is just like it's like, okay, it's done. Eh. At least this one, it's not it's not as open ended as the other stuff, because this is supposed to be like right at the end of Future State, so there is no okay, what's after this. It's like it doesn't leave it for a pseudo continuation, which like almost every other series in Future State does, despite the fact Future State is only for 2 months.
It does a good job of I guess being like you know how Batman Beyond had an open ending.
Yeah.
Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
It does a good job of being like a capstone rather than a. How do I open this?
Oh yeah, Krill's making dinner, by the way, if you're hearing all those noises.
Yeah.
Jacob says, well, everyone's dead at this point except Clark and Diana, as far as I know, and Earth is dead, so yeah, I fucking hope it would have been left open-ended. Yeah, exactly, like, there is, like, despite the fact she just restarts the universe, it's just like, well, you better not leave it on, like, a really open-ended, like, this, we have, like, room for a sequel, because you're at the end of Future State. There really is no point to having a sequel.
Imagine if, like, at the end of the book, which is Wonder Woman staring off into the void, going, "Okay, what the fuck do I do now?"
What do I do now? Or even worse, like all the members of the Justice League are now back. She just somehow resurrected them all. It's like Wonder Woman. We have another adventure we need to go to. Super Dark Side.
We have another 9-issue event comic we have to do.
Yes, Dark Knight's Metal or Metal.
What do we call the next one? Cast Iron Metal?
Who cares? Who cares at this point? It's gonna be fucking dumb. Gotta change the DC universe again.
But Chris, I want to see the Batman Hat and Hex fight the other what are perpetuous people called? Not the monitors. Those guys.
Yeah.
I want to see the Batman who Hex fight them next.
Oh, yay! Don't give them ideas. Scott Snyder finds the stream and is just like, fuck, this is gold.
And then he does a line of cocaine with Capullo.
Yeah. Jacob says, I like the first Metal, but the second one, yeah, it was, even though I didn't like it, and I'm a guy who tends to at least like most stuff, like, it's Death Metal is essentially just turn your brain off and enjoy the pretty pictures. Because
that's what they said. That's what they said when I wanted to watch a Transformers movie.
But yeah, overall for Immortal Wonder Woman, C+ for the story. The art carries it because the art is beautiful. Jen Bartel, great artist. Same with the cover. The cover is great as well. So yeah.
I didn't care about the backup. I give this like a B- because I do weigh my art a little heavier than I think Chris does. So Jen Bartel on her own bumps this up to like a B-, like very close to a C+, but still
Yeah, if I were to grade this solely on the art, I would agree. I would give it like B minus. But I'm going as overall because this is also mainly the story itself. So hence why I put C plus.
Yeah.
Jacob says Chris's other thoughts. At least Diana's still hot at the end of the universe, and that's all that matters.
Yes, I do want gray hair mommy Diana to crush me with her thighs. So.
Yes, I think we can all agree. Diana is still hot, regardless of graying hair. So what do you want to talk?
Gray hair makes her hotter, though.
It does. Makes her more mature. Silver fox.
Alright, hang on. I'm gonna tell my roommate that food is ready. John, food!
Which one do you want to talk about next? We got Superman and Exaggerated Swagger.
Let's talk about Exaggerated Swagger first.
Okay, so the next Batman. This is the finale. Okay, we've finished with one Batman series so far. Dark Detective finale next week. Batman escapes from his lynching. Thank God.
That was his nightfall. Holy shit.
Yeah. So Batman is able to escape. The guy who was trying to kill him, Eric, is trying to save Sarah, his wife. Try to take the blame all for himself. And Batman's like, well, too bad. I'm taking both of you in anyway because you both killed this guy, even though you had, your reasons. But the problem is
that's pretty based.
Yeah.
Based Timbat.
Based Timbat. Fuck you. You're both guilty. It's like Judge Dredd is like, it doesn't matter. The law's the law.
I'm thinking more like Judge Judy.
It's just gonna be televised and
You're both guilty.
You're both guilty. But you hit the man too.
Switching over to my desktop. 1 sec.
Yep, no problem. Yep.
That was...
So yes, Batman is ready to take them in to be because in his eyes, they're more likely to get a more fair trial with the actual GCPD compared to the Peacekeepers. But the problem is, the Peacekeepers are after them and Batman. So, and they have I think they said 30. It was a 32 block distance away, or something like that, to where they have to meet whatever her face was. I can't remember her name.
Was it Chubbs?
Chubbs, yes. Have to meet Chubbs. So we get a fast and furious car chase. Eric sacrifices himself to slow down the Peacekeepers. Tim almost runs into a woman. He gets out and is confronted by his mother of all people, and he's forced into this situation where, in order to escape, he has to hurt his mother. So he injures her with a batarang, then gets confronted by Peacekeeper dude that wants to kill him. He almost
special one. Does he have a name? I forgot. I forgot if he has a name.
I can't remember his name.
Okay.
He almost beats Peacekeeper dude to death, but he's stopped by Sarah. Which I actually kind of like that scene because he's just forced to injure his mother, something he doesn't want to do. So he's running off
and thrashing around.
Yeah, and he's running off adrenaline, and he's angered by what he's doing, so he's not thinking straight, and he almost kills the guy. So he has to be stopped by Sarah. They succeed. He goes to the hospital to meet his mom, talk to her, and that's it. That's it. That's literally it. Story, I'd give it a... I don't know. It was okay, but it still left a lot of plot lines not resolved because the problem is they are setting up the prequel Batman Second Son series. So the whole he sees when he almost runs over someone, we get a little glimpse of the woman changes, and in the previous issue they talk about Tim did something that broke the family apart, and is viewed as like the kind of the black sheep. No pun intended, but
I was about to say that allegory was probably a shit one, but
yeah, he's viewed as like a problem to them because of what he did in the past, and it's very much with this little like flashback in the panel. It's very much hinted that he killed someone or he accidentally ran over someone. We don't get anything else from that because Second Son is probably going to reveal in full detail what that was. And then the whole mother-son thing was also not properly resolved. The whole, she hates Batman, Batman just injured her, but Tim is Batman, and he was forced to injure her so he could escape. And the whole, that conflict there's no resolution to that. And that was also something they brought up last issue and the issue before that, issues 2 and 3, really brought that whole, she hates vigilantes, she doesn't like Batman, but she doesn't know her son is Batman, and he knows that she hates Batman. It's very a conflict, a family conflict within each other that they don't particularly know about. There's no resolution to that. It's just left in like he's just there at the hospital to support his mother. That's it. The base the base story, that's the only thing that's resolved, and that was okay. Like it wasn't a particularly a big deal.
Engaging or
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't particularly engaging.
They made like a huge. Here's the thing: they made a huge deal out of this new status quo change. Like, you know, Tim, this new Batman, he's running around with the Magistrate, but it feels like the Magistrate was like a second fiddle to this entire thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even really about the Magistrate. The Magistrate has more of a bearing in Dark Detective, because Bruce is trying to figure out why they wanted him killed.
And so the Magistrate mostly feels like a roadblock for the plot rather than
it's just there to set up the Peacekeepers, who are antagonists
in Dark Detective.
Yep, yeah, in Dark Detective, and then to a lesser degree here. And then, yeah, even the stuff with the whole like we need to keep the ban on vigilantes. That's not even brought back up either. That was brought up in like the first issue, and they really did nothing with it. Mainly because it's a Batman trope that is always done, and no one really cares about it. Now we need to ban. We need to ban the masks. We don't like vigilantes.
I did like that the dynamic he had with Chubbs, where she's like, "Is that thing bulletproof?" Then he's like, "Yeah," and then she shoots him to give off the impression that she tried to chase him.
Yeah.
For Montoya.
Yeah.
So I think this is like a B. It feel like I was expecting the gangbangers to have a more substantial plot or more relevance to the plot. And I'm kind of
I totally forgot about them because they're only in like the first issue. And
I was like, why did nothing happen with it? Like, it would have been actually kind of cool to see like one of those gangbangers to become a Robin, like one of the two kids.
Yeah. There was like a lot of a lot of like emphasis on that duo in the first issue, and then like the start of the second.
Suddenly
issue.
They're gone.
And then just we're not going to do anything about it. We're now in a different story.
That's more on the first issue than like this one. I just feel like that was something that was like kind of dangling.
Yeah, exactly.
So what grade would you give this book overall? Because I'd give it like a B+ in terms of like final grade for the overall book.
So for this individual issue, I'd give it probably a B- C+, somewhere in between there. The overall, I'd say probably the same, B-, C+. Like, it did have some good parts to it, but they just dangled and had too many plot threads, and the majority were not resolved at all because they have to be delved into with a different series. It's like no.
So let me amend my grade real quick. It's a B plus with like 40 asterisks attached to it. And because that's entirely dependent on like what happens in like the second Sun series.
Yeah.
Like there are things that could retroactively change this grade.
Yeah. And it's weird that it's having a prequel continuation because Tim's not going to be Batman. Like the future state is not canon, so I don't see why we need this like we're having a Batman series that's not with Batman. It's solely banking off the name because this is just going to be about the Fox family. Like Tim's not.
So real quick, this has nothing to do with the book. Someone on Code just posted a trailer for the Hawkeye for the Clint Hawkeye DLC for the Avengers game, and
I saw that.
And it looks horrible.
It looks so bad.
Like I like the story of the last expansion, but the costumes look horrible.
Oh god, yes they do.
Awful.
They look so fucking terrible.
Anyways, yeah, Batman, exaggerated swagger. It was okay. It's good. It was a good self-contained story. Buy it in the trade. Don't buy it in single issues because the side stories are fucking worthless.
No, yeah, the Batgirls. I didn't even bother with Gotham City Sirens. The Batgirl one, I just like flicked through pretty much. I was like, okay, whatever. Oh, look, Oracle. Yeah, whatever. Look, they're trying.
It's literally the level Cortana from Halo 3.
Yeah, the level that everyone hates and just wants to blaze through it.
Well, I'm thinking of like the dialogue where Barbara's like, "You found me, but something within me is wrong."
Yeah, and trying to shove fucking Bab's dick again. Like they're like, "Oh, we're back together," and they're just like, I don't know. They just start fucking. And Cassandra's like, "I'm a head out."
To be fair, that is fairly in line with what Cass would do. So
Jacob says, whoops, already did buy 1 and 2. I mean, if you already bought it, you might as well get the last 2 issues.
We're talking about like if you're going in the trades out.
Yeah, if you've been waiting, it doesn't matter if you've got them already. I'm just gonna probably resell them. So
based.
Oh well, there's any of the future state stuff I just thought of like, okay, it's probably not gonna have any value. I'll just resell it. Although I feel like I should keep.
Get it back for
I should keep at least issue number 1 because
for the speculative value.
Yes, yeah, the speculators, yeah, gonna fuck them over on their own system. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but overall with next Batman,
it
was okay. It was It was so. Like,
do you think this will be better or Dark Detective?
I feel like Dark Detective is going to be better. Mainly because we've been so surprised how good Tamaki has been so far, even though it's just stock Batman writing. I think
stock Batman is fine just for people who think that this is like a slight against Tamaki. This stock Batman is perfectly fine.
It's
but
fine.
when you're like Tinian and stock Batman but with all my OCs. That's when you run into a problem.
I saw Jorge Jimenez put up that picture of like, what's her name? Fucking
Miracle Molly.
Miracle Molly. I'm just like, you already have 3 OC characters, and you're adding a 4th one. Can you at least fucking develop the 3 that you already have? Even though we don't really care about them. Punchline is just discount Harley Quinn. Clown
with bigger tits.
Yeah, Clown Hunter is just Damien, but not a Robin. Well, even Damien.
Oh, I thought he was like Red Hood, like discount Red Hood.
I would say Damien in terms of like just being a fucking edge boy, willing to kill, and then also parts of Red Hood.
Because I saw Clown Hunter and Ghostmaker as like discount Azrael and discount Red Hood, not necessarily in that order, but
oh yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. Thinking about yeah, Clown Hunter is pretty much discount Red Hood. Ghostmaker.
No, don't kill. You're better than this. Stop! Don't come back.
What was it? Ghostmaker. Just why does Bruce need like a rival that learned alongside him?
Because they want to make Batman more like an anime. I don't care about discount Azrael and discount Red Hood.
Yeah, pretty much.
I already have Azrael and Red Hood.
Yeah.
Okay, so Super Dad,
yes. So Superman: Worlds of War. Now, compared to this one, there's actually much more Superman. which is a plus. Which is a plus.
It actually feels like they took away the right lessons.
Yes, they did. Yes. So, we start off with the girl who says, "I know who Superman really." No, Clark Kent was saved me, not Superman, because the whole of this story is there is a article that she was inspired by that Clark Kent read. It's about soldiers going off to war, coming back, stuff happening there, and while it's going on, you see Superman fighting on Warworld, as a gladiator, and it's supposed to be like, it's obviously
the last stand of Superman.
Last stand of Superman. It's supposed to be the obvious what's going on in the article reflects what's going on with Superman. And the soldier coming still coming back from war, still in war, and trying to protect others, stuff like that. And I think that was actually done really, really well. I like that the storytelling dynamic that Philip Kennedy Johnson did with this. Spoiler, he lives. Well, yes and no with Superman. As it's revealed at the end, Mongol keeps on killing Superman and bringing him back just so that in the end, Superman forgets everything and essentially becomes a warrior that Mongol can use to send to Earth and kill everyone there. Irony. Superman was sent to Earth as a baby, to survive Krypton. He grows up to be the greatest hero on the planet, and then now he's
brainwashed into being. He's Winter Soldiered.
He's Winter Soldiered, sent back, killed as a destroyer. But no, I actually really enjoyed this issue. I really liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think it helps that Johnson kind of laid down the theory of Superman in the last issue, and this is him delivering upon it.
Yeah, I felt like the entirety of the first issue was just to set up this one.
Which makes that issue a bit better in retrospect. Not enough to bump the letter grade up, but I appreciate what they did a lot more now that I have the context.
Yeah.
But in a two issue micro series, that's not really an acceptable storytelling method.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know a lot of people weren't particularly happy with the first issue, and I understand why. Because it's a Superman comic, and he's only in 1% of that comic. Yeah, 2 pages of that comic. So I understand the criticisms of that. But we both agreed that we liked the theory that was applied of how Johnson understands what Superman means to everyone. But with this issue, we actually see him write Superman, and even though it's very minimal, I feel like he has a good understanding of the character. Especially with the when Superman actually speaks, towards the end, when Mongol does his whole, I'm gonna break you down, brainwash you, and you're gonna go back to Earth and you're gonna kill everyone, and Superman's just that doesn't matter, I'm gonna keep trying to break every chain off every prisoner, I'm going to protect them all, and we're going to rise up and, overthrow you. We're going to succeed in the end. I feel like he at least has the basic understanding of how Superman should be. And also show when he's actually fighting, he doesn't actually kill anyone. Mongol notes, there's not a single drop of blood from anyone you attacked. So he's mainly just defending, because Superman's not a killer, So, what?
I appreciate that he stuck to his principles.
Yeah,
it's a fairly consistent portrayal of how Superman operates.
Yes.
So I also did like that Superman was defending others, even though he could easily save himself. He was going out of his way to help the people who were trapped in Warworld with him.
Yes, and and then still sticking to it, knowing that he's essentially still trapped at the end, because this continues on to a different. Which is I kind of slightly have a problem with, is just that it will continue in a different comic, House of L, that future state book, but
No one cares.
No one cares. Yeah,
I'm not gonna read. I'm not gonna read another Future State book.
And to be honest, it really didn't need the whole. It needed to continue. This will be continued in House of L. I'm just like this by itself.
Whatever.
By itself is a good self-contained story. Superman ends it with the like, no matter what you do, I'm going to find a way to break everyone free and escape, and win. There.
I did like the framing of the reference from the two kids who go to find the original Kent farm.
Oh yes, because there's the fake Kent farm for the whole.
Of course, and then they find the real one that's like dilapidated and torn down.
Because it's implied that Cyborg Superman destroyed it. Because they reference just before they say there's a line they say
that Cyborg thing
Cyborg trashed it. Yeah, so Cyborg Superman destroyed. It's obviously supposed to. I very much doubt it's Teen Titans / Justice League Cyborg.
What if it was? Holy shit!
What if it was?
It's Cy Beast in a moment of schizophrenic anger. Cy Beast fucking blew up the Kent family farm.
Yeah. But yeah, I did like that one as well. Them finding the real Kent farm and then finding the pod that Superman arrived in. It was really good. I really like this issue, and actually I now have better hopes for Johnson on Action Comics and Superman.
Can we? Here's a odd take. I don't want the same writer on both Superman and Action Comics.
I mean, I like it because I like having the same writer on both because it keeps it consistent. So there's no real you won't have two writers, either purposely or accidentally contradicting each other in what goes on in each series. I like it for that, but I do agree with maybe give someone else the other title.
It feels a bit creatively stifling, if that makes sense, just to have the same writer on both. Like when you had Venus on Superman, there was no flexibility.
No, and they were both bad, regardless.
Oof.
But yeah, I would give this a B minus. I really like this issue. It was definitely much better than the previous one, even though it really the problems we already said, the problems we have and what we liked about the first issue. But I think what we saw, I like what we got with this issue.